let me sit down right here and let's have a little chat. I would consider everybody here as my family. I think nowadays it is easier than ever before to make money in America. For example, I remember when I first moved here in 2011, there was no Uber, there was no Lyft, there was no DoorDash, none of that. But maybe there was Uber, I don't know, but at that time, I didn't know anything about Uber because I don't know exactly when Uber was created. But some people told me that Uber was created in 2009, but I'm not too sure because I've never done any research about when Uber was invented. But I remember I started driving Uber in December 2018. At that time, Uber was very lucrative. It was good. Um, I was working full time and then I would drive part time after work and whenever I get a day off. But for some reason, during COVID, less people were driving Uber and there were a lot of demands for Uber. And I decided to quit my job to drive Uber full time. I gotta tell you, that was the best decision of my life because I was deeply in debt. I owed over $80,000 in debt. I was able to pay off all of my debts because of Uber because I was making so much money driving Uber. I was able to put a lot of money towards my debts. And because of that, I was able to pay off my debt in 2 years. So now I think I can use the same method that I was using to pay off my debt and do the same thing to build wealth. So, how I am planning to do that? Since 2022, I've been maxing out my Roth IRA account. Every year, I max it out. I have my wife Roth IRA account also, max that out every year, thanks to Uber. But I don't drive Uber full time anymore. I drive part time. But whenever I get a chance, I drive it part time. Every day, if I can, I drive for 1 hour, 2 hours, and make a little money. And I am content with that because for me, I feel like it's better than nothing. If I can make 20, 30, $40 every day, that's okay because driving Uber is my pastime. This is not something that I do for a living. I just need to make extra money to invest. I make $40, $50 whenever I drive. I'm okay with that because not everybody is able to do that. Plus, the fact that I have the account and I have a used car where I can do it on the side. So I just keep doing it. And so far, it's been rewarding because the money that I make driving on the side, I don't use that money to pay bills or anything like that. I use the money to invest in stock market. So that's what I've been doing lately. And that's what I'm going to keep doing until I get tired of it or maybe I don't know if I have enough money where I won't have to drive Uber anymore or I can retire early so that I won't be doing it. But so far, I'm gonna keep doing it because sometimes I am sitting here, I'm not doing anything, and I get bored. I think if I go online and drive for a little bit, talk to people, stuff like that, it helps, you know? That's one of the reasons I'm just gonna keep doing it. And I think people can make good money driving Uber because sometimes I go out there in an hour, I make $30. In 2 hours, I make $80. But you don't make that every day though, but sometimes, but most of the time, you can make that. I think if you're not lazy, you can make some money driving Uber because I see how much I'm making every week, even though I don't drive full time anymore. I drive whenever I get a chance because I have other things that I'm doing because of that. I can't drive full time, but I try to drive at least 1 hour every day. And but on the weekends, I drive a lot because I'm not doing anything on the weekends. And people are going to the beach, people are going to the club, people are going to the bar. I drive a lot, like 7, 8 hours. And I've been making six, 700 every week. But before the cost, because you have to put gas, stuff like that. But so far, it's been really good.